Hey everyone, Mr. Regan here. And up to this point, we've done a lot to explore evolution and the ways in which scientists use their skills and knowledge related to the fossil record and shared fossilized structures to help explain how species evolve over time. The activity today is going to take what we've done throughout the unit and look to apply it to us on a more personal level as we create what's called the My Evolution model. Now, on the screen in front of you, you'll see a very iconic image of five silhouettes. And the five silhouette image you'll see here is what you would find if you were to do a quick Google search of evolution. And it's an image that a lot of people use to represent the idea of human evolution. And if you notice, it starts off on the far left side with an ape or monkey like species changing over the course of time to a more human silhouette. Though we know this is a very simple model of what happens in evolution, the silhouettes we see represent five very important phases in human evolution, and more specifically, five important ways in which our common ancestors have changed over time, leading us to our final, most recent form. Your job today is going to be to create your own version of this model, but for yourself. So, some similar models for human evolution include a lot more detail, a lot more imagery when it comes to showing off that evolutionary change from one phase and one common ancestor to another descent species, and so on and so forth. Your job is going to be to create one not for humans, but for yourself. Evolution can happen in many different contexts and in many different ways. It can happen over a long period of time or a short period of time. But this model, this iconic five image model, can be used in any situation to show how something changes over time. So you're going to be creating a five image model along with some other things to help break down and model your evolution as a person and as an individual. So, how will this work? Well, you're going to be creating an evolutionary model that shows five of the most important phases of your life and describe the most important changes that happen at each of these five stages. So if you notice in our example here, we have this artist that shows very specific ages in their life in which they have important things that have happened from one time in their life to another, changes occurring to their personality, to their style, to their likes and dislikes. And your job is going to be to do just the same, but we're going to be adding in more information about changes that have occurred in your life beyond just showing us what has happened. So, how will we do this? Well, you're going to be creating a model that will have three sections: this yellow section, the green section, and the blue section here. And what you're going to do is you're going to pick five images to represent you at five of the most important times of your life. You get to choose what those images are. They can be things from your phone, they can be stuff you have on your Chromebook, it can be stuff you find on Google, whatever. Five images to represent your changes in your life. And you're going to title those five specific moments in your life. You can talk about specific ages you were. Your title for each of those five phases can be something related to school, can be something related to time periods related to your family, whatever you need. But you're going to label the five phases. You're going to have an image for each of those five phases. And just like our evolutionary model, it should show the changes that you went through over time. Now, in the blue section, this is where you're going to be describing things that have changed at those five phases in your life. And you're going to get a lot of different options to choose from when it comes to what you want to describe and talk about. So we're going to play a little game of tic-tac-toe in some of the upcoming tasks where you're going to have nine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 topics, and you're going to choose three to describe and how they changed over those five phases. So, for example, you might pick your friends and pets, you might pick family and relatives, you might pick sports and clubs, hobbies and interests, you might choose music, you might have another topic that's not on here, but you're going to choose whatever three that you feel you want to discuss in your evolutionary model. And you're going to tell us how these three topics have changed at each of the five phases of your life. So, for example, we'll see an image of you changing over five different phases, a title of each of those five phases, And then at each of the 5 phases, you'll describe how your friends and pets changed from this time to this time to this time to this time and this time. You'll talk about how your hobbies have changed at each of those 5 stages. And if you select school and classes, you'll talk about maybe your interests in school and classes over those 5 periods. So you're creating your own iconic 5 image evolutionary model. You're going to be labeling the 5 phases, describing any 3 topics you choose from our tic tac toe, and talking about the changes, showing the changes, and describing the changes at your 5 most important phases of your life. So take a second. In our survey, do you understand how to create your evolutionary model and how to select the topics that you'll be reflecting on in your model? If your answer is yes, put your X in green. If one of those things is confusing or you need some help, I recommend going into the needs help section of the speaker notes. There are examples and models and ways in which that can help you complete all of the different examples and things that are going on at each of the 3 tasks. So, for example, the first one, task 1, has some examples of some evolutionary models and how it shows change over time. The second one is a breakdown of these topics to help you brainstorm what you can talk about in your model. And the third one is a breakdown or an example model that you can look at to kind of help you create your own. So go ahead and complete the survey. Reach out if you need help, and good luck reflecting on your evolution up to this point in your life.